Hello and welcome to this episode of Q&A and commenting on comments. I'm davidinark. Enjoy some BeamNG crashes while we answer some questions and generally comment on some of the comments that you guys have left here recently. I thought that'd be kind of fun. It's been a while since I've done one of those. I'm going to start with a recent one here. Bite Guy Gaming asked if he says, I found some height maps online, but they are colored ones and they have different colors for the different heights. Can BeamNG use that instead of the black and white ones? If not, can I use something to convert the colored height maps to black and white so BeamNG can use it? And my recommendation was pulling that colored height map into an image editor like paint.net or GIMP, or if you've got something more robust, and convert that colored image into grayscale, save that out, and see if that does the trick. So hopefully Bite Guy Gaming will get back in touch with us and let us know how that turns out. So awesome. Thank you so much. I do want to address an issue here from Motionless TV. How come you have 4.6K subs, but you get so low of views, and do you do shout-outs? I guess technically, Motionless TV, you just got a shout-out, so there you go. But in terms of why I have so many subs, and yet my view count is so low, it seems so bizarre, right? Okay, well, my channel has been around for a couple of years now, and when I first started out, the YouTube algorithm was completely different, and my videos got promoted way more than they do now. There are some other reasons involved, sure, but when I first started, my videos, in fact, you can look at, some of my most popular videos, that type of thing. I mean, they were getting thousands of views within the first 24 hours of release. And then things changed with YouTube. Frankly, some things changed with me as well in terms of putting stuff out. As you are well aware, especially here recently, my number one issue is consistency. And I know that. I'm aware of it. Maybe one of these days I'll get back into the routine or a routine of publishing videos on a pretty regular schedule, but just as life is, things come up, and that's the way it is. So I think that's part of the reason I got a whole bunch of subs back in those days, and we've been slowly growing ever since. And so I thank everyone who comes by and subs to the channel. It means a whole lot to me. Just kind of addressing how I have so many subs and yet so few viewers. So there you go. So thank you everyone who views, whether you subscribe or not. Thank you guys so much. Aldabar asks, out of curiosity, what are the specs of my gaming rig? That is a great question. I've got a Ryzen 7 1700X. It's got 24 gigs of RAM. I have a regular platter-based hard drive as my main drive, and I've got an SSD that I use for videos. At one of these days, I'm going to swap out that regular drive for an SSD. That will help with some of the issues that I have with making videos. I've got a GTX, I think it's an 8 gig ITX style video card, because the case I have, or technically the case I used to have, was too, it was a small form factor case, and so I had to get a small form factor card, and when I upgraded my case, I just took this card, put it in. So there you go. So there is that. And then in terms of some other equipment, by the way, my computer happens to be a CyberPower PC. It was a pre-built job, although I've kind of customized it since then just a little bit in terms of, like I said, added more memory, and the drives and stuff that I have in it aren't what came with it. I've got an Audio Technica microphone, AT2020 microphone that actually runs through a small XLR to USB mixer. I'm not particularly happy with the mixer. It was a very cheap mixer. It was probably about $35 or so. And so I'm definitely looking to buy a different mixer. What else do you need to know? I don't know. There you go. That's what's in my gaming rig. So there it is. I have an AOC FreeSync 144 hertz monitor that everything runs through. A nice big 24-inch monitor so I can see, because I'm an old blind man. So there you go. All right. Anyway. Isaac Viron or Veyron asked if I pin comments, and the answer to that is I pin them when I'm allowed to pin them, which is really weird. Like I can't actually find where I do that now, so I'll have to go back and figure that one out. It's really weird. When I look at your comments and I can respond to them, I can like them, I can love them, that kind of stuff, but I don't see where I can pin them anymore. I don't know. Something's really weird. So there is that. One of the #1 questions that I get, and most recently from Rope Walking Elephant, is, have you considered using a gamepad instead of a keyboard? It's way easier. I have to tell you, that is probably, if not my #1 comment, it's got to be close. And yes, I totally get it. I need to be using a controller, especially with games like BeamNG. I actually have an Xbox style controller from I think the company's called maybe Rock Candy or something like that. Anyway, it's lime green, transparent, plastic shell. Anyway, it's an Xbox controller. I do have one. I need to hook it up. I need to play BeamNG with the controller, get used to playing with that. I actually also have a steering wheel. It's one of those Thrustmaster Ferrari steering wheels, and I'll be honest, I'm not real happy with it. The wheel itself is okay, but the pedals are way too resistant, and I haven't figured out a way to make them more realistic. So once I figure that out, then I'll probably play with that some more. But anyhow, yes, I do have a controller, and I promise I will start playing with it more. I've used it in some of my videos. I've used it to play a little bit. I'm old school, man. I grew up, keyboard, mouse. I'm a keyboard, mouse guy. It's a hard habit to break. So just throwing that out there, but I will be playing around and using the controller, and I'll try to indicate that either in the description or in the video itself, just so you know that I have a controller and that's what I'm using. So there you go. All right. So thank you. Thank you so much for that comment. Again, that's got to be one of my #1 comments. Other comments that rank right up there have to do with comments that are on the videos that I've done regarding unofficial BeamNG mods from sites like worldofmods.com. And I know my current steps are outdated, and I know there's a big demand for an updated version of that video. I've been debating back and forth. I happen to get some of my mods from there, but it is very, very frowned upon by the BeamNG community at large. And the last time I put my updated video, I got a lot of negative response to it. I got a lot of, I don't know if you'd call it hate mail, but it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't polite, and it wasn't nice. And basically, there are, from what I can tell, 2 schools of people that do with BeamNG. There's the purists who say everything should go through the repository and the forums, and then there's other folks that say, hey, other games have mods in all other places. Why not BeamNG? So, whatever. I'm just telling you. So I've been debating whether or not to include an update to how to get those unofficial mods, but I don't know. We'll just see. It's not high on my list just because I don't want to have to deal with all the stuff that goes with that. So there you go. All right. So that it is. There it is there. Let's see if I can find, there was another comment that I had that I really wanted to pull up here, and now I can't find it. Oh, I know one of the things that I wanted to bring up. So, I play a lot of BeamNG on the channel. I also play other things, and I promise I will get back into the Skyrim immersive experience, that we will get back to Alan Ginter and Inigo's adventures. I promise that that is coming very soon. But one of the comments that I get a lot from BeamNG modders is, I'll play a mod, I'll play a scenario, I'll check out one of the mods, and I'll feature it on the channel, and especially in scenarios where I have some difficulty, well, frankly, completing the scenario or winning the scenario, and I'll get several comments from the mods, from the mod makers, talking about that they didn't realize it was going to be that hard, or it was going to be so frustrating. Please know that is more me than anything else. So don't ever feel like you got to change your mod just because David and Ark is having trouble. Let me tell you that is not the bar. I'm not setting the bar in terms of how playable a particular level is. Despite the fact I've been playing BeamNG for 3 or 4 years, I still tend to not be very good at it. Okay, so don't use me as your benchmark for whether a level is playable or not at all, man. I love playing them no matter how badly I'm doing, and no matter how frustrated I get playing some of them. That's all part of the fun of playing and learning and figuring out how to beat a particular scenario. So if you're a modder, you like to make mods, by all means keep doing that, and don't change your mod just because I get frustrated or I run into a problem. Don't do it on my account. You just you keep making your mods, you keep doing you, and I'll keep playing, and eventually I'll figure it out. So there you go. All right, so there that is. I just want to say once again, thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting the channel, for reaching out in the comments. I'm a little behind in answering comments and replying to comments and liking them and all that kind of stuff. So don't worry, I will get there. That's one of my goals, is to reply to as many comments as I possibly can. I aim for answering them all, but I realize not every comment warrants an answer. Sometimes, it just depends on what the comment is. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching. You got any other questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories? Feel free to leave those down in the comment section below. And thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching a bunch of BeamNG crashes, listening to this old man ramble. So there you go. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.